Hello everyone. This is a quick video. I'm right at the end of getting my Prusa Mendel 2 3D printer kit put together and ready to print. I'm still calibrating at this point, but I thought I'd make a video. Now, you've probably seen Engine Glue's videos if you're watching this. And theirs are pretty darn good and just about as useful as you can want to get. But what I'm going to do here is walk around slowly on my build and show you what I've done. Now, my build doesn't exactly match his, but it's very, very close. What we have up here is this is one of the Z motors, this is the other Z motor, and it goes up and down the drive shaft on this side and up and down the drive shaft on this side, and right here is the end stop switch. So when this portion of the Z carriage comes down and presses down on that, that's when it knows it's at the home position. Here we have the X-axis motor. I'm going to back up again real quick. I want to go fairly slow on this. So again, these are the Z's. This is the X-axis motor. This is the X-axis belt right here. You can see here that the belt goes around that sprocket on the X-axis motor. It comes over here and goes around that pulley, and that moves basically the print head back and forth this direction. This motor is for feeding the print material, this plastic down through the extruder head, which is down here, which gets heated up by this massive ceramic resistor. And there's a thermistor in here that reads the temperature. And I know it's hard to, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's in there. So that feeds, that material feeds through here. Let's see. Yeah. The instructions say to make this so tight that you can barely move it, and I barely can. But this gear feeds the material in through that hole, and there's a series of springs and pulleys in there that push it in through the heater head, or the print head there, the hot end, what they call it. Let's see. So this is the heat bed, and it's got a pane of glass on top and 4 screws, 1 in each corner. I wish it had a screw dead in the center that was countersunk. On my build, I can't get this exactly level, so there's kind of a hump in the middle. So my zero stop point for Z is measured dead from the center, and it's just the thickness of a piece of paper. And as the print head gets out to the sides, because there's a hump, it gets further and further away from the glass, which means that limits my print area quite a bit. I may figure that out later. I think maybe if I put some longer screws in here, I can lessen the tension on all the corners, and maybe that'll flatten everything out. Here we have the power wires for the heat bed. In here, and again with this camera I know that's difficult to see, there's the resistor over here, and there's two LEDs to indicate that the bed is hot and powered. That wire runs down and runs over to the electronics package, which I'll get to in a second. So we've seen the two Z motors. This is the X carriage motor. That's the motor for feeding the plastic into the print head. There is another motor back here. This is the Y motor, and it moves the print carriage forward and backward, again on another timing belt pulley system that runs from that sprocket through that pulley, through this pulley on the front. And you can see if I move that, that's the way that works. Now I showed you on the Z-axis there is this stop switch. On the X-axis there is a stop switch right here, and that, when the print carriage gets over there, that stops that. On the Y-axis there is another stop switch here, so when the heat bed comes forward, it hits this when it hits its most forwardmost point and stops any more movement. Now I've got, in this case I'm using the Ramps 1.4 electronics package. This wire looks like a total mess because I don't yet have, I need to go get some of that tubing that you can route all the wires through, but right now I've just zip tied everything to the framework of the printer. So we have this coming through, this set of wires coming through here for one of the Z motors over. Another one of the Z motors comes down. Everything gets routed down the right hand front frame. This wire here is for the print head fan, which you can see here. Just move that out of the way. These two wires, one is for the thermistor that detects how hot the print head is. The other one is for the resistor down here that heats up the print head to melt the plastic. Here's another motor, again everything routed along the top rail and down the right hand side. Let me just move this around. There's the AT power supply, and this is the 4-wire. It's 2 black, 2 green with black stripes. Those might be yellow, I'm colorblind. That power everything through here on the ramps board. Let's see. Let me pull the light down here. So this is hard to see because there's a mess of wires, but you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 motor drivers on there. One of the motors here, one of the motors here. The 2 Z motors are here, and they're reversed from the settings, from the wiring for the rest of the motors. So you'll see how the red wire here is on the left, and the red wire here is on the left, and the red wire here is on the left. These Z motors, the red wire is on the right hand, is pointing to the right. That's real important to get that right. The stop switches are all 2-wire interfaces. There's 3 of them down here, and they go on the bottom set of pins on this 3 rows of pins. Now, one of the things that I did wrong initially was that I misunderstood the videos, and I thought that what you should be wiring was these 2 leads next to the hinge on each one of the stops. That's not the case. You want to wire the 2 outside leads and leave the middle one unconnected. That's very important. And it's also very important that you make sure to get these on the bottom set of pins and not on the top 2 set of pins. Let's see here. So really quickly, or not. Now I have the printer face or printer interface software set up over here on my Mac. And now I've pushed everything over here on the printer, on the X, Y, and Z, pretty much to their max areas. And I'm just going to hit the home. You can see here, you can hit home for the Y, home for the X, home for the Z, or home everything. And you can also do each one of the individual axes in varying steps. I'm just going to hit the home all button, which is right down here, and we'll see what happens. Oh, hold on. I gotta connect. Oh. Now I have still to adjust the motor driver board, so I think I'm getting some kickback. But you can see that it moved the X all the way over and moved the Y, which is the printer board, all the way forward, and it's moving the print head all the way down to its home position. Alright, so we're getting in pretty good shape.